Good evening everybody and welcome back to JWE Friday Night Eclipse. We're here in St. Paul, Minnesota. We're now just one show away from our next big event of the year, Saturday Night Main Event. Tonight our champions will be taking the night off for tomorrow, so instead we have a singles main event in the tag team division as Nia takes on Hatsune Miku. As a result, we have a rare team up in the women's tag team division as Ibuki and Poppi combine forces to take on the Harmonious Truth. Meanwhile, the Skelebros and Big Bang Theory square off to determine who will be taking on the Dark Hour. Maki, Harukawa and Akane Owari face off to see who will get the revenge against Miu, and Taion continues to look for his second win of the year as he takes on Teddie. So get ready for a night where not much will change, but a lot will happen in the background, because this is Eclipse. And starting off our night, introducing first,
is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 317 pounds. Hey! And Pat Too cool.
it is Sans and Papyrus, the Skelebros. They've been cold as of late, but, well, they're from Snowden. What do you expect? And their opponents. When you hear those horns, you know exactly what time it is.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 292 pounds. Sharon Ebata and Kaiba Motoda. Air Boom!
It is the luminary of the stars, the ultimate astronaut, Kaito Momota, and the ultimate detective, his sidekick, Shuichi Saihara, the Big Bang Theory. I know I said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. One of the most iconic intros, one of the most iconic entrances of JWE history. I'm just gonna say it now. Prove me wrong. Here we go, Sans. Shuichi first in the ring. And here we go. Whoever wins this match will be taking on the Dark Hour tomorrow at Saturday Night Main Event for the men's tag team belts. If this ends in a draw, then, well, I guess we'll just have to draw straws or something. I don't know. But Shuichi tagging in Kaito. Irish whip. And a double shoulder tackle. And Shuichi just kind of hanging out in the ring. There's one. Sans kicks out. Shuichi was just standing there. And now Sans up over neckbreaker. And I can't tell you. I mean, I probably can tell you. I can tell you how many attempts that intro took. Only 4. Only 4 attempts. I'm surprised. I was expecting that to take like 5 minutes, but no, it only took like 2. Anyway, Papyrus work on the leg. I've been listening to a lot of Eminem lately, so I guess it makes sense that that my cadence would speed up a little bit. Papyrus tags out, Sans back in, Kaito tags out, Shuichi back in, and now Shuichi with a head scissor Hurricane Rana. And a falling elbow. And Kaito just taking a stroll through the ring. I have no idea what the Big Bang Theory are doing right now. Absolutely no idea what their plan for this match is, but Sans locking in a wrist lock, but super lucky rope break for Shuichi. I feel like he would have gotten out easily, but still. The less time you're in a submission hold, the better. Knife edge chop. Irish whip, but Shuichi with the reversal, sending Papyrus into the referee. Clearly not planned, so I was not really expecting the ref to punish Shuichi at all. Penalize them at all. And Papyrus slipping out, but not quite looking for the attack right away, allowing Shuichi to step out of the way of that double leg dropkick. Nice little bit of a teamwork by Kaito to let him know what's happening. And now Shuichi with a DDT. Looking for the stomp. Papyrus rolls out of the way, but not getting out of the way of that. And now a head hold from Shuichi, but Papyrus kneeing himself out. And Papyrus with the reversal. And just like on Monday and just like on Wednesday, with how, based on like this episode's like statistics and everything, that will determine how much I will be donating to the Tornado Relief Fund. Because if you're unaware, the reason why last week's episode was last week and not 2 weeks ago is because we had a tornado that, went through my town. I'm sure you're getting, annoyed of me talking about it, so I won't for much longer, I promise. But as a result, we lost internet and cell service and whatnot. So, also helping out with the cleanup on the ground and everything. I will be doing my part to help donate to help rebuild the community. And the comments, the views, the likes, the everything will determine how much I will be donating. So if you really want to, you know exactly what to do. Anyway, cross-arm face trap by Sans, looking to make Kaito tap out, but Kaito immediately fighting out instead. Of course, I will have an upper limit, so please don't spam 5,000 times to make me, spend all of my, what's it called? Net worth? Split leg drop from Papyrus going for the cover. There's two. Shuichi breaks it up. And I promise tomorrow will be the last time I talk about it in this context. So, there's one Papyrus kicks out. And Shuichi sending Papyrus over the top rope. Staring down at him. And now just heading to the corner. Not entirely sure if he was planning on taking in Kaito, who's just not paying attention. And now Kaito doing his part to distract Papyrus. But not for long. Kaito just being tossed aside by that Hurricane Rana. And now Papyrus elbowing out. And a toss to the corner. Looking for a corner crossbody, but Shuichi getting out of the way. And now Papyrus. Papyrus Desperado tag. Sands back into the ring. And a suplex. And now Sands going for the cover. There's one, there's two, there's Kaito. And up. Over. Shuichi slipping out this time. And now Sands with a monstrous clothesline, forcing Shuichi back up to his feet. Rolling heel kick. And tagging in Poppi. Papyrus going for the cover. There's two. Shuichi kicks out. And Papyrus with a power bomb. Kaito look for the tag out, but Papyrus playing good defense with that elbow drop and now forcing Shuichi back up to his feet. And it's really looking like it's going to be Dark Hour versus Skelebros. But we could see something change. Could absolutely see something change. It's not over until the hand hits the mat 3 times, or multiple times in the event of a tap out. And there's a choke slam from Kaito, forcing Sands back up to his feet. Shot to the leg. And now the short shoot kicks. Ending that with a roundhouse and the cover. Papyrus now in the ring to break it up. Strong right hand. And now Kaito lining up a finisher. Modified pedigree? There's two. And it's going to be the Big Bang Theory versus the Dark Hour. Like I said, things could absolutely change, and I'll admit, I was wrong. My prediction was wrong, but I think it was still pretty valid. But a hard-fought win for the Big Bang Theory to get the opportunity to get their belts back. And I'm sure Dice is just sitting in the locker room right now screaming. But Kokichi, Rentaro, you've had your chance at the belt. You failed. Now it's time for Shuichi and Kaito to take that opportunity.
Here are your winners, Sharon Tevada and Kaiba Motoda and Boo!
Well, gentlemen, you've made it this far. Let's see if you can do the same thing tomorrow. And next up, our match to determine who will be taking on Miu Iruma. Introducing first, finally getting over her hurdle, that is Lucina. It is Maki Harukawa.
And her opponent from Oita, Japan, Akane.
And her opponent, looking for the opportunity to get her belt back after losing it in less than a minute. Yes, I'm still going over that. Not going over that, but still not over that, rather. Like I said, I think it was like 48 seconds or something. Like, insane. It is Akane Owari. And here we go. Ref rings the bell and we meet in the middle. And Maki immediately begins with an uppercut to the stomach and now locking up collar and elbow. Maki pushing Akane back to the southwest or southeast corner. Referee having to separate them. Maki looking for a running kick, but Lucina, or not Lucina, Akane stepping out of the way, kicking the calf. And now locking up collar and elbow. Yet again. And now Maki with the headlock. Akane slipping out to the back though. Rear waist lock. And going for the cover, not even going to be one. Also, I'm just saying, if what I saw on Twitter is correct, and the reason why Team DR are making a Danganronpa 2x2 to like try to revive the series a little bit, and depending on how that goes, they might make a V3 version, or even like a DR4. Dude, I already have so many ideas for a retelling of DRV3. I'm pretty sure I've already gone over this before, but yeah, I have so many ideas of how to retell DRV3. Kane with the ground and pound. And the cover, there's 1, 2. Maki kicks out. And one of them is making Rantaro the mastermind. Akane with a leg stump. And now, head scissor hold. Maki immediately getting out. Now, what I always wanted them to do, though, is, especially after SCR2, every game have a new Byakuya, so that at the end, after like 16 games, we have ZR17, which is every single Byakuya. We already had the original Byakuya. We had 2 Gami in the second game, and we technically have a new Byakuya in the third game as well. So we need a 4th Byakuya. Anyway, Akane, moonsault connects from the top rope, going for the cover. There's one, there's two. Maki kicks out. Akane with another moonsault, but Maki rolling out of the way, tossing Akane into the corner. Now the slugging right hands lining up, running elbow to the throat. And the cover right next to the ropes. Only going to be one. Over the shoulders. And face first into the canvas. And now Maki heading to the corner, but not quite looking for like a spear or anything, so I'm not entirely sure why she went there. But there's a scoop slam. And now Maki heading back to the corner. Still deciding not to. Don't tease us for a third time, Maki. Alright, here we go. Superman punch. And the ground and pound for good measure. This is Akane we're talking about, so she can absolutely kick out of a Superman punch or two. But how about a spear? There's one, two, no. So, for the women's universal belt, it's gonna be Maki Harukawa versus Miu Iruma.
Here is your winner, Assassin Maki Hayabusa.
And yeah, that's maybe the matchup I was expecting, that I was hoping for and expecting, but well, Maki, can you clear the final hurdle and finally get your hands back on the belt? Or will Miu be your new kryptonite? We shall see. And next, introducing first, representing Ouroboros,
Making his way to the ring,
Taion.
the Union from Pangea, weighing in at 135 pounds, Aaron the Technician.
Only one win on the year so far, but how close has he gotten to getting multiple? He was pretty close against Fox. He was pretty close against Jaden that one time. Could have beaten Teddie. He could have, like, what, 5 wins on the year? If things just went slightly different? And his opponent.
And his opponent, representing the Blue Bloods, from the internet, weighing in at 126 pounds, the Bear Teddie!
Making his way from the TV world. You know him. You probably hate him. Or love him. There really doesn't seem to be like a neutral consensus. It's just everyone either loves him or hates him, and I'm the latter. It is Teddie. Like, I don't hate him quite as much as I do like Morgana. But still, I'm just like, okay, but, okay, dude, just chill out a little bit, you know? I hate him like an older brother hates a younger brother. Or like Yosuke would hate Teddie. And here we go. Ref rings the bell, and they meet in the middle, and immediately lock up, collar and elbow. Teddie pushing Taion back into the corner. Referee having to separate them. And Teddie with a strong right hand. Turning Taion around, knee to the back of the knee. And now face first into the turnbuckle, stomping down on the stomach. Commanding an early presence here, but Taion catching the kick, sweeping the leg, throwing him down. And rolling Teddie onto his back, trying to gain at least a little bit of momentum. Losing it all in the opening seconds of it now. Gaining some back, heading to the outside. Senton lands. And a rolling neck snap. Taion, knee or elbow to the knee. Scrambling to the top rope. And a diving crossbody into the cover. Here we go. There's a one. There's two. Teddie kicks out. Taion just cranking on the neck, but Teddie finding the escape. Irish whip. Double underhook slam. And Teddie with a standing senton. Taion with an elbow, but Teddie turning that into a clothesline. And now to the corner. Crossbody barely knocking the distance. Get it? Barely. Anyway, Teddie working the knee with those elbows. And a rolling neck snap, or a rolling arm breaker, rather. And Teddie again, the spinning arm breaker. Toss. Clothesline. And now middle rope. Getting Taion back up to his feet. Diving elbow to the top of the head. Looking for the knee, but Taion back up to his feet, but not before being hit with the recoil. Into the cover, there's one, there's two, and Taion kicks out. $2.9, how much closer can you get? And now hammerlock, sleeper hold. Teddie stomping on the foot, back elbow creating separation. And now looking to walk Taion's southern ropes. And Taion looking to escape again with the elbow, but again Teddie turning that into a clothesline. Irish Whip looking for the elbow, but Taion with a reversal. Now double underhook suplex into the cover. There's two. Teddie kicks out. And now Taion. Modified dragon screw. And Teddie finding the escape. But Taion fully with the advantage now. Or at least with some momentum. Outside Hurricane Rana. Perform the calculations. He's pretty good at math, so I do trust that he's at least pretty damn close. Was there, now a diving axe handle drop. Honestly, I have to say, like, Taion, if this in-ring presence doesn't work out, you could totally be like a manager or something. And another suplex into the cover. There's 1, 2, 3. That is how you do it. First win outside of a PLE. That is one hell of a stat line. That his first ever win was in a premier live event, just like Jin. Really taken after like Jin in that context. But yeah, that kick out right there, that is what saved the match. That is what allowed him to regain momentum. And yes, Teddie, absolutely, those elbows after the, those clotheslines after the elbow of Taion, but nope. Regrouping. Turning him around. Suplex, and he knew at that moment. He knew that Teddie's not kicking out.
Here is your winner, Karen the Technician.
Attaboy T. And for our second tag team matchup of the evening, introducing first,
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, T.O. and Sawyer Zero. Truth and consequences.
it is Sayaka Maizono and Kyoko Kirigiri. The Harmonious Truth. And their opponents, They are your women's tag team champions.
Champions, the Idol Ivy and Precious QT, the Crew.
When was the last time we've seen these two together? It's Ibuki, Mioda, and Poppi QT, but yeah, when was the last time we've seen these two without Hatsune Miku? Because usually when it's the Cyber Idols, it's the OG, I mean, it's the new Gs. And Hatsune and Hatsune Miku and Ibuki. Or the OGs, being Hatsune Miku and Poppi QT, but what would you even call this? Sayaka Ibuki first in the ring. And here we go, ref rings the bell. And Ibuki immediately turning that around. Neck breaker of her own. And the strong right hands, elbow or forearm to the neck. And Sayaka creating a little bit of separation. Ibuki doing the same. And now Ibuki tossing Sayaka into the corner, tagging in Poppi. And forcing Sayaka into a kneeling position. Big boot to the forehead. And middle rope. Drop kick. Poppi stomping down on the forehead, or on the forehead, going for the cover. One. Sayaka the reversal. And now walking the tightrope, double leg drop kick. And an Irish whip to the corner, looking to tag in Kyoko, but Poppi saying, Kyoko, no. Yes, I really should not quit my day job. I get paid way too much. Another tag team attack from the Cyber Idols. Like, I will say, I'm pretty lucky to have a pretty well-paying job, especially for being, what, 25 and, like, right out of college, basically. Like, I got the job right out of college, like, for pretty well-paying job for a 25-year-old. Engineering pays, my guy. If you don't know, I am an electrical engineer. Well, avionics engineer. But yeah. Which is just a fancy way of saying electrical engineer for airplanes. I can also say I can also say I'm an aviation engineer if I want to technically lie. Anyway, Kyoko finally in the ring, double knees to the spine, and Irish whip sending Poppi for a run, but nothing really going there. And now Kyoko double knees to the stomach, or alternating knees rather to the stomach. And the fire stomps. Kyoko double foot stomp to the back of the head. Picking Poppi back up to her feet, toss to the corner. Tagging in Sayaka, tag team attack incoming. And a catapult. Or trebuchet. I think that's more of a trebuchet into the corner. No, that would be a catapult. That would be a catapult because a trebuchet would have a counterweight, whereas a catapult is dependent on potential energy, dependent on elastic potential energy. think Kyoko's just dead. Kyoko's just lying there. I think she's dead. Nope, she's back. And now Sayaka. Tilt-whirl head scissor. Tossing Ibuki to the side. And the cover. There's two. Poppi breaks it up. Not really something you want to see, though. And now a toss to the corner. Tagging in Kyoko. Double Irish whip. Double underhook. Double kick. And now Kyoko. Working on the ankle. And now locking in a sleeper hold that Ibuki immediately gets out of. And an Irish whip over the top rope. Sayaka having to jump off to avoid being hit by Kyoko, but Ibuki, 2 for the price of 1. But Kyoko, undeterred, rolling up, Poppi in that pin attempt. Now spinning back heel kick. And tagging Sayaka back in, so little harm, little foul. And Sayaka using the rope as a lariat over the moonsault into the cover, and Ibuki's forced to break it up. But this is the second time tonight where the Harmonious Truth have taken advantage of Poppi's was inexperience in tag team matches. Because usually it's Ibuki and Hatsune Miku, but the advantage of being a trio is that you can absolutely have things like this. Unfortunately, it means less experience overall. So in this case, this is why you usually see tag teams, or rather stables like this, as the Kyoko kicks out at 2. This is why you usually see stables like this have, yes, a tag team pairing, and then one that focuses primarily on singles matches, which in this case would be Poppi, whereas Ibuki and Hatsune Miku are the ones focusing on the tag team matches. And Ibuki kicks out at 2. But then you get situations like this where one of the tag team members is pulled into a singles match, but you can still participate in a tag team matchup. You just have a secondary or alternate lineup. But unfortunately, doesn't always work out. Kyoko getting the 3 count. And the Cyber Idols continue to struggle in tag team matches when Poppi QT is in the corner. Not saying that she's necessarily at fault, but sometimes patterns just naturally evolve. Kyoko and Sayaka, they saw weakness, they exploited it, and at the end of the day, that is exactly what gave them the win. And Harmonious Truth, they may have left last year, but they are certainly back this year. Next year, I am really looking forward to see how well these two perform next year. And for our penultimate matchup of the evening, introducing first,
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Bucharest, Romania, weighing in at 187 pounds, the Assassin, AK-47.
he is still your man's Money in the Bank. And by that I mean that he hasn't cashed in yet. And I'm really curious to see when that will be and against whom. It is Agent 47.
And his opponent from Tokyo, Japan, weighing in at 194 pounds, the Dragon Kiryu.
And his opponent, he is the Dragon of Dojima. The fourth chairman, Kazuma Kiryu. And here we go. Ref rings the bell for the penultimate matchup of the evening. 47 looking for a clothesline right away. Kiryu stepping out of the way and now locking up counter and elbow, but this time trapping 47 in the corner, but 47 escaping, walking Kiryu back into his corner. Referee having to break them up. And now Kiryu walking 47 to his corner. And now wrist clutch. But 47 rolling through, bit of acrobatics into a wrist clutch of his own. Owari, can we seriously let 47 run at more than just a brisk jog and let him jump? And now 47 turning that into a hammerlock. The audience determining this a certified Bakamitai moment. And now 47 turning Kiryu around, throwing him down into a headlock. But Kiryu escaping. Hammerlock of his own. .47 trying to escape. But Kiryu holding on tight. Picking 47 up. But 47, never mind, 47 turning that into a headlock. And now Kiryu escaping to the rear. And this is reminding me a lot of Uni versus Mitsuru Kirijo at Summer SmackDown just a couple of weeks ago. Finally, Kiryu with a with a front slam, and now sending 47 for an Irish whip. Diving underneath. Slipping around. Belly to back suplex. But 47 avoiding the stomp. Scoop suplex. And a stomp to the jaw. Also, I just realized that I was doing this entire episode while my headphones were in noise canceling mode, so that's why everything was sounding weird. Kiryu with a clothesline to the back of the head, going for the cover. Not even going to be one. Kiryu looking to pick 47 up. 47 with another reversal. And a springboard crossbody catching Kiryu in transition. Middle rope neck snap. And picking Kiryu back up to his feet, turning him around. And a final rest. Locking in. Holding on tight. But 47, not quite. Not entirely sure what the plan is. Heading up top, getting Kiryu back up to his feet. And a double leg dropkick. And now locking in the wrist lock. Pulling back. And again, Kiryu, 47, what are you doing? Still not quite happy. Now going for the cover. Kiryu kicks out. And now 47, what was that? Although, yes, I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Kiryu did magically slide out of the way. And now the cover again. There's 1, 2. Kiryu kicks out. 47 trying to calculate a path. Trying to see what he can do to become victorious. And I have an idea. Don't let go of your submission holds. You're the best submission artist in this entire promotion. Literally the best. So just lock in and don't let go. Pulling back and... What did I tell you? What did I tell you? $47, you literally didn't go 20 and 20 in season 1. You didn't go 20 and 20 with, what was it, 17 submission victories or 19 or whatever it was. You don't do that if you're not like the best at the ground game. Now, I pose a question to you all. Kazuma Yoshizawa versus Agent 47. Would he be able to make her tap out? I don't know. I genuinely don't know who would come out on that. And now for our main event of the evening. Introducing first, representing the Cyber Idols, she is one half of your women's tag team champions. You know her, you love her. Hatsune Miku.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing the crew from the internet, one half of the Women's Hybrid Tag Team Champions, the Superstar Akane. And her opponent, representing the Ascension from the city of Atlantis, Nia.
And her opponent, representing Ascension, one of the queens of Eclipse, it is Nia. Also, not necessarily her, but like sort of related. If you know, you know. The fact that I accidentally put Noah in a show called Eclipse after considering what happens during Chapter 5. Yeah, no, that was totally an accident. But I'm happy it happened. Anyway, Hatsune Miku, Nia staring each other down, and let the main event begin. Referee rings the bell, and they meet in the middle. Hatsune Miku immediately beginning with a right hand, but Nia turning that around and now locking up collar and elbow. And the reason why I say that, kind of adjacent, because Nia was there. Well, in spirit. And now locking up again, collar and elbow. And now Miku with a headlock. And turning that into a hammerlock. And one thing that I absolutely appreciate is that Xenoblade 3 is absolutely a love story between M and N. I'm not talking about Neo and Noah, though. No, I'm talking about Nia and Melia. Those, honestly, like, those two deserve each other so well. I unironically ship Nia and Melia. Just they work so well together, man. They would absolutely, like, Nia would absolutely be Melia's gay awakening, and like she would feel weird about it at first, but eventually be like, okay, no, this is exactly what I need in my life after being dumped, or not dumped by it, but being cock-blocked by Fiora. The relationships in Xenoblade are weird, man. Anyway, Nia scrambling up top, because of course she does. Diving, looking for the diving DDT, but Hatsune Miku stepping out of the way. Is it obvious what my special interest is? And now toss nearly into the ring. Not quite. And now Nia avoiding the strike. Sending Miku for an Irish whip. Single underhook arm drag. And now walking Miku to the northeast corner. Kicking the leg. And when I saw this main event on the card My first question was, when was the last time that these two have faced off against each other? Because, like, I'm sure, or like during a main event, because like I feel like it's been recent. 2024. We have to go all the way back to episode 21. Yeah. Anyway, there's a pin attempt after that crossbody, only going to be 2. I feel like we've had Nia versus Miku more times than that, which like I'm sure we have. I'm gonna have to look at the statistics for that, but in a main event, not recent. And now Nia with the 619, a sick ass camera angle to boot as well. The Gormati special, and now Nia scrambling up top, looking to put this one away with a double A drop kick. And now, nope, heading to the outside, looking for more. Single leg drop kick. And the cover to put the tag team champion away, and no, Hatsune Miku kicks out. Nia, though, catching her with a right hand, sweeping the leg, walking the tightrope. It's like, yeah, the fact that Melia got cock-blocked by a dead girl is like, that is hard, man. That is, how do you even manage that? I say that as like Melia is like literally my favorite character in the entire franchise. I know I said it before, but like Melia, Nia, and Elvis are like right up there. Anyway, going for the cover, there's 2, there's 3. And man, after that opening stint, Nia just had that. Just not allowing Miku to have anything going. Very controlling. I mean, girl still got it. She and Melia, like, they might be struggling a little bit in the tag team division. I say a little bit, like, a little bit. I don't mean that, you know, heavily. I mean that, like, very, very lightly. But Nia, now, she still got it. I can absolutely see a future where she and Melia get the belts back. Specifically from these two. Specifically from Miku and Ibuki. I don't think they would go the route waiting for the Truth to defeat them and then defeat, you know, Kyoko and Saika. No, if they get the belts back, it will absolutely be against Ibuki and Miku. But with all that rambling aside, as we watch Nia's celebration, I'd like to thank y'all for joining us here tonight and hope to see you tomorrow. Not Sunday, but tomorrow. Because it is time for Saturday night's main event. But until then, we are signing out from St. Paul, Minnesota. See ya.